All right, 49er fam, I am back really quick. So basically, next week we got to go play the Broncos. I believe there's a possibility of some joint practices when it comes to that. So what I figured I'd do is I'd give y'all a little preview on what the Broncos have done so far. So very simply, very plainly put, Broncos have had two preseason games. They are 1-1. They beat the Falcons 14-10, and they lost to the Seahawks 22-14. So taking a look at everything, let's take a look at some stats really quick from these games and see what we got. You know what I'm saying? Figure out what happened with these guys. So, give me just a quick moment, and I will let you know who did what. So, looks like they had three different quarterbacks. They got some guy named Brett Ripien and Kevin Hogan, and of course the guy they drafted, Drew Lock. So looks like out of those guys, the only person who scored a touchdown was this Brett Ripien guy. Drew Lock was 7 out of 11 for 34 yards. So passing shit didn't look really good. Let's see here, 95 yards rushing though, led by Kalfini Muhammad. We got a Devontae Jackson. Those were the two main guys that actually did some things. That's really pretty much about it. Let's see here. As far as their receiving, it was only 112 yards. Nothing spectacular. Yeah, nothing. Nothing really to be paying close attention to here. Looks like Brendan Langley and Stephen Dunbar Jr. both fumbled. I believe Dunbar Jr. used to be a 49er, but I don't think he ever made the active roster. I think we had him as a practice squad guy. His name sounds very familiar. As far as defense goes, let's see what they have. Horace Richardson had a couple tackles for a loss. Alexander Johnson had one tackle for a loss. Let's see here. Some guy named Trey Johnson, he had 3 passes defensed. And looks like he had one sack from a dude named Shamarko Thomas. Another sack from a dude named DeMarcus Walker. And that's pretty much about it. Trey Johnson had an interception. And yeah, pretty boring, lackluster game for them. So doesn't look like by what they did against the Falcons that we really have much to worry about. Now, since they've already played another game, let's move on and see what we got as far as, their loss to the Seahawks here. Let's see what we got. Come on, Internet. Give me a moment, please. It's a little spinning thing. It's just going crazy. Okay, now, at the Seahawks, well, they were at the Seahawks, so it's kind of hard to win there. I'm not going to lie. It is not very easy. So, they went ahead and played the Seahawks. They lost 22-14. Let's see here. So, Denver scored 3 in the first, 3 in the second quarter, and 8 in the fourth quarter. So, let's see exactly what happened by way of stats. So, for Denver, Drew Lock came out and looked a lot better. He was 17-28, had 180 yards. He had 1 TD, he had 1 interception. Unfortunately, it looks like he took 3 sacks, so it means the offensive line didn't necessarily hold up too well, or there's a possibility that he put himself in position for those sacks. I don't watch the Broncos games because I'm not a Bronco fan, as you can see. Niner game. Kevin Hogan came in 3 out of 7, 27 yards. So it looks like Drew Lock took the bulk of the snaps. Flacco was in there 3 of 4 for 19 yards. Flacco's their unquestioned starter, though, so we probably won't see him for maybe but a series, if we see him at all. So as far as rushing, 91 yards, but that was pretty much running back by committee. Got this guy named Royce Freeman. We've got some kid named Devontae Jackson. Drew Lock actually ran 3 for 11, three rushes for 11 yards. Let's see here. Once again, another lackluster thing from their offense. These guys are catching maybe 1 to 2 balls. Pretty much everybody. A couple of them were catching some pretty long passes. Got Trenton Benson, Nick Williams, and Austin Fort. All three of them caught a single pass, but 24, 26, and 29 yards. So that's chunk yardage right there. So it's probably going to contribute to a lot of their stuff there. Devontae Booker fumbled. Let's take a look. Malik Reed had 1 sack. That was the lone sack in the game. 1 pass defense by Adam Gostis. Another pass defense by Devontae Bowsby. So, yeah, we're not seeing much that's going to scare me as far as us playing the Broncos. And then just because they are a division rival, the worthless Seahawks, 11 out of 15 for 109 yards from Paxton Lynch, the former Bronco. Looks like he had 1 TD. They say he impressed. He looks like he outplayed Geno Smith 3 out of 9 for 58 yards. So as far as rushing, they had 151 yards. But then again, that was seriously by committee. You had some guy named Xavier Turner. Paxton Lynch had 4 rushes for 38 yards. Some guy named Bo Scarborough, 7 for 32. Geno Smith, 3 for 21. Rashad Penny, 6 for 15. And then some guy named Terry Wright, 1 for 3. So, I mean, the only person really averaging anything was Paxton Lynch. He averaged 9.5 yards a rush. So it means that dude is a little more mobile than people believe. He had to get out that damn pocket and make it do what it do. He had to try to be a little Russell Wilson there. He's no Russell Wilson by any stretch of the imagination. Because as much as I don't like the Seahawks, Russell Wilson is still a good quarterback. I recognize talent when I see it. I don't like Kobe Bryant. I'm from LA. But I know the motherfucker's a great basketball player. It's just that simple. So, it doesn't look like we got much to be worried about when it comes to the Seahawks. Either, nothing really spectacular on them. Looks like they had about 3 sacks. You know what I'm saying? They did a couple things. Did some, some cool little shit there. Jamar Taylor had 1 interception. So, I mean, they did all right. So, basically, from these from the stats from these preseason games, I don't really see much of anything we should be worried about as far as the Broncos are concerned. Now, from our standpoint, we have to be very careful with these penalties. We cannot go another game and have 19, 20 penalties for 200 damn yards. Even though some of the calls were bullshit, they were still called. And it's very hard for you. I mean, you can challenge a call, but at the same time, still, we got to clean that shit up, guys. We got to clean it up. We got to look a lot better than that. Our offensive line is going to have to hold up, and it's going to be a makeshift offensive line because we lost Sean Coleman, and hopefully he's not injured and can't play this next game. Next game is on ESPN. It will be on Monday, basically Monday night. So try to find it any way you can. I won't be out there with my Niner fam because I have to work, but I will be watching. So I will give y'all another update on that video as far as that's concerned. I love y'all. Stay Niner gang. Stay Niner faithful. 1-0 in this preseason so far with a 17-9 win. Defense held up. We held them to, just 3 field goals. So I can appreciate and respect that. But at the same time, these passing plays, they're just getting chunk yardage on us. Don't like it. So it's a lot of that damn cover defense that Robert Saleh runs, so it leaves too many gaps and too many holes for people to be able to stretch and do things. So we got to clean that up too. But love y'all, Niner fam. We're going to get better. We got to continue to progress. Hopefully this 3rd preseason game, we have a little dress rehearsal. We get out there, we make it happen. Stay blessed, stay Niner faithful, and I'm out.